If you enjoy this type of pattern, please tap that thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Hey, do you want to know a secret? Red Heart Super Saver Ombre is actually not a transitioning yarn as you think it might be. See those beautiful colors as it goes from one to another? It's very strategic, but it's not transitioning yarn. So as I have an armful of balls here, we have Red Heart Super Saver Ombre, and you can see that some of the colors are pretty abrupt in the change itself, and other colors like this light pink is really subtle. So when you're going to crochet with these or knit, they actually look like they're blending really well together, except for the ones that are really jumping like this one here. And what you're looking at is a color swatch play with your eyes. I know, color swatch play with your eyes, and you're looking at absolutely yarn dyeing strategy at play. Now focus right down the center of this hole here. So you see it goes darker to lighter and then back to dark. And what you're looking at here, have you figured it out yet? There is a color transitioning of the swatch colors itself, but the change between the colors is actually abrupt and just suddenly changes. So how many colors, and you can leave a comment, how many colors do you think they're actually in one ball of Red Heart Super Saver Ombre? What's that? Leave me a comment. How many colors do you actually think are in here? So take a look at this. This is a baby blanket that I'm working on, and it's one of my own designs. And so you can see that I used the color Jazzy, and it started off in the center, it transitioned, it went darker, and then it went back to white, and etc. So this is a baby blanket. So as you get bigger, you can see that the transitioning of colors gets faster and faster. So it's nice and slow because it's the center, but as it gets more and more, you can see that the colors will transition a lot more frequently as it's going out. So it's like a ripple of a pond. So that's kind of a neat idea, right? So on the small stuff when it comes to this is that you have the illusion that the transitioning is happening, but as it gets further out, you can start really seeing the steps of the colors. This blanket here is the summer stitch along for 2022, and I used Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. I actually only used 3 colors of this. I used Jazzy, Anthracite, and I also used Purple. Now, because each one of the balls has its own stepping and color, it gives it the illusion that there's a lot more colors in play. But because the Afghan gets bigger, the colors transition a lot more frequently when it comes to going out because it takes longer to get around. So how many colors did you guess is actually in one ball itself? So pay attention to the center of the hole. This is called Scuba, and this is Red Heart Super Saver Ombre as well, and you can really see the coloring transitioning happening here. So how many colors? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's actually only 5 steps of colors, but because the colors on some of these are so close to each other, it gives it the illusion of transition. So in something like this, that you can really see the difference of one color to the other when it's on the far side of the spectrum versus the darker side. So as you can see, it's getting lighter to darker to lighter to darker, and etc. The secret to this particular yarn, though, if you're going to transition from one ball to another, because you know that there's 5 colors, you want the second ball to be matching the same color of where you are. That means that you may have to dig into the ball to find that color in order to have the transitioning matching on your particular project. You never heard this from me, but here's the secret that we do behind the scenes. You can dissect a yarn ball so that it has the 5 colors on its own on the side. For example, say you're doing a round and you feel like the transitioning is at the wrong spot of the transition of one color to another on the same yarn ball. What you can do, if you take another ball itself and dissect the 5 colors out of it and just leave it to the side, if you end up in a transition point that you really don't like, you can take the dissected ball and finish that particular round or the row so that you have that color, and then you can go back to the regular ball that you're working on and then pick up where the transitioning is going to happen. Don't think that we don't do that behind the scenes, and it's a great way to be able to control the color play so that it looks like it's even more transitioning, because as it's getting bigger and bigger, it's harder to tell where it actually should have transitioned to compared to where you did. So it actually looks like it came out of the ball that way, but in actual fact, you're doing yarn manipulation. So want to know my last secret that I have? This ball here is actually made up of 3 Jazzies, but it's actually only going to technically use 2. The fact is that I had 3 balls that were left over from other projects, and instead of just banging out a new ball, what I decided to do is that I took a look at those and I looked at the 5 colors, and then I have the transition that looks like this. Perfect. So as it gets bigger and bigger, the transition will happen more frequently, as you'll see within the rounds, because it's getting bigger and bigger. But overall, I'm really quite happy. So this is a way to manipulate your yarn balls, have the fun color play, make it look like it's transitioning, all with Red Heart Super Saver Ombre. Those are my secrets today. Do you have any secrets regarding this yarn? It's fabulous.